Okay, so Cold Steel makes a bunch of machetes, and some of the machetes seem like they're made to be tools, and other machetes seem to be more weaponized. So I have a few of them, not all of them, but a few. And I'm going to start with the one that I think would make the best non-weapon and the best actual machete and tool, which is this guy, the two-handed Latin machete. So this one I actually think is the best machete for actual yard work. It's light, it's long, it has a two-handed grip, and the pommel is rather nice. So I'm really a fan of this one for actual machete work. And I do think it's the best machete of the lot because it's light and it's balanced pretty nicely for actual chopping. I got Himalayan blackberry in my backyard, and this thing really is fun to go to town with. So I do enjoy the two-handed Latin machete. It's the best machete for, I think, like woodcraft and that sort of thing. Now moving up on the scale of silliness, we have the katana machete, which is actually my least favorite. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I think the handle's too long. I started cutting the handle down. I'm not quite done. But this thing was just too cumbersome and odd because just the handle was far too long. So I'm not a huge fan of this. Me and my buddy did stab some vacuum cleaners and barbecue pits, and so it totally stabs through metal, and that's pretty cool. But it really is one of my least favorite for the weapon ones. I would definitely go with, like, say, the Gladius machete over this one. However, I think personally you cannot go wrong with the smaller one-handed kukri machete. This one is slick, and it's very cool. It's not the Magnum one, it's the smaller one, but I don't think anyone would be upset with this one. This one is very cool, and very nice, very light, and you can really, yeah, it's just very cool. I'm a big fan of this one. However, my personal favorite out of all of them, by far, is this bad boy, the two-handed kukri machete by Cold Steel. Now this thing is fantastic, and once you get it, you'll know what I mean. All of my friends that got this thing in their hands really started grinning like maniacs, and it's just fantastic. It's really big. I'd say it's about the length of a bokken, so it feels pretty sword-like in length, although the weight's all at the end, so it doesn't feel like a sword when you swing it. It feels like, I don't know, like a big hammer, but man, it's very cool. We definitely took out some, you know, objects, some vacuum cleaners, some computers, some dumpsters, and this thing just is great. Put a false edge on it, that really up penetration, and yeah, highly recommend this one. It's just so much fun. If you hold it above your head and you look at your shadow will make you laugh because you cast a maniac Grim Reaper shadow. So I really like this thing, and I feel like there's really two ways to use it. One would be to choke down on it kind of like a sword and swing it more broadly, and then the other way would be to kind of choke up on it this way and use it more like a, you know, like a rifle with a bayonet. So you have a couple options with it, but man, is it slick. And by far my favorite. So I think if you're going to get one of these things for, like, you know, shit hit the fan, I would either go with this two-handed Cold Steel kukri machete, or I would go with the Gladius machete. I would not get any of the other ones. And also, this thing is horrible for using against brush and shrubbery. Like, this is actually a bad machete. It's far too heavy, far too big. I would get exhausted using this, which is why I prefer my two-handed Latin machete for actual machete work. This is the actual best machete from Cold Steel for machete work, is the two-handed Latin machete. This guy is completely different. But yeah, boy is it fun. And for about 30 bucks, you really can't go wrong. So, huge fan of this guy. And its little brother. So, I mean, honestly, style points. I would feel kind of embarrassed carrying that Gladius thing around, but this stuff, yeah, it's real cool. So, anyway, hope that was helpful.